weapon just as an alien lunges from the darkness. Instinctively, Joe hurls himself into the void to escape. He slams against the concrete and crashes onto the floor below. Staggering to his feet, battered but alive, he sprints through the corridors as the alien hunts him relentlessly. At last, Joe bursts into an elevator and slams the controls, the door shutting just in time. Breathing hard, drenched in sweat, he tries to reach the rest of his team over the radio. No response. Only the sound of his own ragged breathing echoes in the confined metal chamber. We cut to a flashback. One day earlier, Joe is at the administrative offices, following up on his resignation request. However, the system informs him that he still has 7 months remaining on his active contract. Joe clarifies that he isn't asking for a permanent discharge, but for a special leave of absence. He explains that he made a promise to his father before he died, that he would return to his medical studies. It is at this moment that we learn his father passed away the year before. All of this is quietly observed by Wendy through a monitor. Yet, as she watches Joe, she too is being watched. Some team members argue that perhaps giving her access to these transmissions was a mistake, as it seems to distract her. But Dr. Dame insists otherwise, claiming that it comforts Wendy and grants her an important emotional connection. Joe goes on, explaining that he has been accepted into a medical program on Mars, and classes begin in just 1 month. He begs them to consider his request, urging them to act with compassion. Or else, he adds with a touch of irony, they will face his fury. That phrase instantly triggers an association in Wendy's mind with a character from the Ice Age era, prompting her to intervene. To everyone's shock, she sends a brief reply to her brother through the system. Arthur, one of the supervisors, is stunned. He points out that Wendy somehow rewrote part of the system's code to interact. Boy asks if the development team intentionally granted her that ability. Arthur shakes his head. No. Wendy was connected to Prodigy's network strictly for monitoring purposes. They never imagined she could alter the system on her own initiative. Back to Joe's side of the exchange. The system rejects his request for leave. He is bound to fulfill the time left on his contract and is immediately reassigned to a new location. We return to the present. The ship carrying the hybrids lands on the surface. Thanks to her sharpened hearing, Wendy picks up the distinct sound of the aliens. But she seems to be the only one. None of the others hear anything unusual. The squad leader approaches Kirsch to report that the tower they must inspect rises 80 floors above ground, with another 20 levels underground. At the moment, communications are completely down. He voices his growing list of concerns. The gas pockets filling some areas could ignite, the ship's fuel is unstable, the ammunition itself poses a critical risk, and then there's the radiation exposure. But above all, what troubles him most is that they were promised reinforcements, yet instead, only these people were sent. As the squad leader speaks, Wendy begins manipulating the ship's interface, altering surveillance camera transmissions. Nearby, Slightly and Smith play, distracted and unaware. Kirsch, trying to calm the situation, assures the leader that his group belongs to a special unit operating directly under the orders of